when you get your body right, you're going to deal with less disrespect. Now that don't mean that you're not gonna deal with it at all, but you're gonna deal with it less. I tell you that for one. See, I was watching a video on Instagram, right? It was this black dude and this white dude hooping. The black dude was a little taller. He was like around like 6'3", 6'2", something like that. But the white dude, he was like around 5'8", 5'7", but he was like skinny, right? And they was playing basketball. White dude cooking them up. And then the white dude went and drove in for a layup, and then he went up. He went pump fake. You know when you pump fake a layup, the dude went and jumped, try to block it. We know you pump fake, dude jumped high as he possibly could. White dude, and he fell over the white dude, and he had fell over the white dude, right? And then the black dude, he got up mad, started fighting the white dude. Now, remember, the white dude, he's cooking him in basketball, but he's like a smaller guy. Like the black dude, he's like a taller guy, like 6'2", 6'3". But he's going after the weaker person. Going after the weaker person, right? And I watched that video, and it just reminded me, like, see, this happened like probably like a month ago, right? Me and my homeboys, we went to the goddamn basketball court. Yes, me and my homeboys, we all went to the goddamn basketball court like a month ago, right? And that video reminded me of the same situation, right? And I had multiple of these situations, but that video just reminded me of the same one, right? So we went to basketball court like a month ago. You know, we lost like the first couple of games because they began, you know, like I said, cardio plays a big factor, right? But that's besides the point. The point is, so we on the sidelines, right? Then out of nowhere, it was this dude. He came out of nowhere. He was on the team playing basketball. And when I tell you, bro, he was just like, it's like he came out there just to goddamn, you know, talk shit and just to try to fight. You see, when we go hoop, we go hoop just to play basketball, bro. Most, like, whatever, dog. I don't know what they problem be, but they go out there just to goddamn fight and talk shit and do all this extra shit instead of goddamn hooping, right? So, dude, like he's like I think he's like 5'8", but he had some size on him too though. But he was 5'8", you know what I mean? And then he was just talking shit to the other team because I'm guessing they weren't giving him his foul calls, and he was getting mad, talking, "Oh, you fouled me, you did all this, you know, just doing all this extra stuff, bro." I guess the weaker team, like, what I mean the weaker team is like the team that they was going against. They was a pretty small team, right? And they was like they was a pretty small team, and then like I said, bro, he was just got them doing the most, you know. So then they had won the game, so we go on the court, right? You know, and I'm guarding him, and he had went and tried to drive in on me, right? And he tried to got them call me a foul. I said, "Nah, bro, there ain't no foul, dog." But he said it respectfully, dog. He wasn't doing all that extra, all that yelling and stuff to the like he was last game. Matter of fact, speaking of last game, he was trying to fight one of the goddamn people because he was like, "Oh, I'm a boxer. I'm gonna do this. I do that." You know, that's what he's telling the person on the last game. The person on the other team last game when they had before they had lost. That's what he's telling old dude trying to fight him and stuff and all that. He talking about, "Yeah, I'm a boxer and all this," but like, if you really like a boxer, bro, you should really know, like, you shouldn't go around fighting, you know, people like that's below you. Because at the end of the day, when you a boxer, you know that you can be able to goddamn beat up most people 9 times out of 10 if you like a boxer. Or if he was a good boxer or not, who knows? He probably was a sorry one. See, the thing is, when folks who talk the most, bro, they really don't be about nothing when it comes to like folks who talk the most, they really don't know how to really fight for it. They trying to use their size, their intimidation to fool you, right? Cause like I said, he wasn't a small guy. He had a deep voice, all that stuff. So, intimidation factor, right? Cause like I said, he had size on him, and he was over there yelling, "Oh, y'all do it," you know, trying to sign all big and bad, even though even though he's a boxer, right? But why is he trying to, like, even though he's a boxer, like, why are you, like, you know, trying to, like, fight people right there in the goddamn day? Like, you should know, like, fighting, there's no fair fights in a street fight. Even though, yes, you're a boxer, this dude who you could possibly want to fight in basketball or whatever, just on the street in general, he can pull out a knife, pull out a gun, and boom, it is over with for you, bro. Or if you have some homeboys with him, they can pull out whatever they want. They can jump you. They can do whatever, dog. And he was by himself. You know, I don't know if the dude had homeboys or whatnot. You never know. That's why you shouldn't go around, you know, fighting folks at the end of the goddamn day. Because a street fight is not a fair fight. Like, what I mean by that is, like, you know, a boxing ring, you know, you box, right? You got gloves on, you got refs, you got all these people. You can't slam nobody in boxing. You can't pick up no gun in boxing. It's just you and the gloves and the person you're fighting. Street fight, you can do whatever you want to do, bro. Like I say, you can try to fight this dude. He can pull out the gun, pull out whatever, and boom, and it's over with right then and there. That's why you shouldn't go around, on the street and fighting. And people who actually box, people who actually fight, know this stuff. That's why. Well, maybe they don't, bro. I don't know. But 9 times out of 10, somebody who's like a legit boxer, they know this stuff. That's why they don't worry about, That's why they don't worry about people. What I'm trying to say is that's why they don't worry about people like saying, oh, like that's why they don't worry about people trying to fight them, because they know they can fight. They know they can do some damage, so they try to avoid fights as much as possible because they know what they're capable of doing. That's what I'm trying to say. And yeah, like I said, when we got on the goddamn court, like I said, I got some size on me too. I got some size on me, bro. Like I said, I'm 6 foot, 188 pounds, bro. 188 pounds on the scale. That I might not look big, but like, I'm lean. Like I said, I was like 205 at the start of the year. Now I'm 188 lean. So my muscles look way bigger than they're gonna look way bigger, more defined than compared to when I was 200, because I'm lean. You can see it more clearly, right? So like I said, he went and tried to drive in, and he said I fouled. I'm like, no, there ain't no foul for real. But like I said, he was doing it respectfully, dog. Because like, yes, I could possibly not know how to fight, not know how to do anything, right? But it's just my size that people think that I may know how to fight. Like I don't look like somebody who I can just easily be handled. I look like I don't look like somebody who can just like easily just be handled, right? I look like someone who can possibly know how to fight. Like I say, 188 ain't the biggest. Like I ain't the biggest guy in the world, but at the end of the day, I'm way bigger than the average person walking around here. Now we come to the big body, the big bodybuilder folks, right? Obviously they're gonna have some size and they're gonna look way bigger than me. But the thing is with the bodybuilders is they won't have the stamina, they won't have the punches, they won't see fighting, bro. It's more than just size at the end of the goddamn day. That's what most people don't really realize. You can have all these size in the world, but if you don't know how to throw a punch, how to properly properly throw a punch, how to properly weave and do all that stuff, like boxing, bro. Like I did boxing when I was younger. I don't do it no more, but I did boxing when I was younger. So I got some experience when it comes to that, on the street. Now if I get in the ring, whole different story. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hang with them. But on the street, 9 times out of 10, the person that's on the street that you're gonna fight, he's not gonna know anything how to fight for real. But when you do, and you train the right parts of your body, like your core and your lower body strength, all that, yeah, it's just gonna play a big factor. But like I said, what was I saying? He was being respectfully about it. He wasn't doing all that yelling, all that talking tough stuff, bro. Because like I said, he knew like I was like a bigger target, and he probably knew like okay, now I might have come at him with a little more respectful, because I won't be able to push him as I was pushing the other dudes on the last game. So that's all I'm trying to say. Like you're gonna get respected more, even like even like at the stores, grocery stores, anything like that, folks, they're gonna be more respectful to you. Like, okay, I mean one time, right? Hell, even in a friend group, right? You see, I remember this was a couple years ago. So I was hanging out with my friends from high school, and they had brought some friends, because we supposed to go to this college party, right? So they brought some friends. Well, I didn't know them at all. Only person I knew was the friends from high school. But my friends from high school, they knew these group of folks, right? So they brought them all over. We all went to the college party. So we all over there, and they got them. We like in this little room chilling, and then like there was like there was like he was a smaller guy, and it's like they friend group was just like picking on him, stuff like that. But when it came to me, they were like being all respectful, they wasn't doing all that extra stuff, bro. Because like I said, you look capable at the end of the day. People are always going to target somebody who's smaller, who doesn't look capable at the end of the day, bro. They going to target that person, You don't want to be that target, I mean, but yeah, you don't want to be that target, but you want to get in the gym, lift weights. And yes, lift weights, right? But actually, learn how to box, learn how to when you actually lift weights, use your weight correctly, learn how to box. Like that right there can take you like a long way compared to the average person, at least by like 85, 90% of the world, bro. When you actually get in the gym, you know, and actually learn how to fight, learn how to box, do all that stuff, bro. Because let's be honest, bro, the average person is, for one, is not in the gym, and two, let's say let's say he do know how to box, right? But if you don't have, no, I don't know. I really don't know because if he has the cardio, because he might not have the cardio, but he has the skill. You might have the cardio, but not have the skill. Okay, I'm not even gonna speak on that because I don't know. But like I said, bro, this you know you work out. If you work out and go to the gym, I mean, if you work out, you know, learn how to fight and stuff like that. That can take you a long way in the world, bro. Because now you look capable, right? And now when it comes down push to shove, somebody may try you. Like now you know how to fight and box, so you can actually protect yourself, right? Because like muscles ain't the end all be all. I'm just gonna be honest with you. The biggest muscles are not gonna win, especially like in a fight or anything like that. Think about unless they lock y'all up in a cage, and it is you and this other big guy. Yeah, he might have the advantage of you if you just lock you up in the cage. But I'm talking about a street fight. A street fight is not a fair fight at the end of the day. A street fight, you can goddamn run, pick up weapons. You can goddamn do this. You can climb. You can do whatever you want to do in a street fight because it's a fair fight. Now they just lock you up in the cage. That's not a fair fight because 9 times out of 10, folks ain't gonna go. You ain't gonna fight somebody in a down locked up cage. But you ain't gonna be like, oh, you ain't gonna be like, hey, bro, let's go to the cage right here. And we gonna fight it out in this goddamn cage, no, bro. But you on the street, it's on site, bro. It's on site. You ain't walking around nowhere. It's a street fight, bro. You get what I'm trying to say, man. But like I said, when you get on body, you're gonna deal with who less disrespect, even from at your job, anything like that, bro. Folks gonna come at you correctly because I remember my last job, it was just goddamn skinny dude, and they used to goddamn like talk shit about him, all that stuff like that. Now they could have been talking shit about me too behind my back, but in front of me, they knew like. And this is back when I was like a whole lot leaner, bro. Like I was not as big as I am now, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, bro, you're gonna get respect at the end of the day. When girls see you, they see that you respect themselves. I mean, when girls see you, they see that you respect yourself, right? Now, once they get to know you and they once they get to know you and stuff like that, and they can really see the true you, like you really like a bitch, like, I mean like a simp, stuff like that. Then they gonna try you at the end of the goddamn day, bro. And then if somebody does like disrespect you or anything like that, it's gonna be like in subtle ways. You're not gonna actually say it to your face. It's gonna be in subtle ways. It's gonna be behind your back. It's gonna be little things that they do, but they're not actually going to say it to you. And that's all I got for y'all, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next video.